over the years. Like you said, the truth is the truth, and of course, the alcohol industry, for example, is dominated by men. I do think that more room is being made for women and people of color, but how has that affected who you are today? What are some of the challenges you had to overcome, and what's some of the advice you recommend to young entrepreneurs of color that feel like, they're facing similar challenges?
I have a kind of a different perspective on this, which is I think that there's probably assuming that the conditions are decently set in a particular, scenario. I think that it has a lot to do with inner confidence and your inner voice and what you're kind of this circle you're doing to yourself. I think that again, assuming the conditions around you are set up to a certain extent, I think that the power is within you to figure out the formula that can work for yourself. And uh, I think through my 22 years of work experience, of course I've had many downs and, you know, a good amount of ups, but in those down moments, can you really pinpoint it and say, oh, there was, it's because of this or it's because of that condition, or is there something you could have done better? So I try to have that attitude. Otherwise, I think I might drive myself crazy of what can I control? What can I do to change the situation? Because it's very difficult sometimes. It's very easy to sometimes point to certain things and it's very easy to get down, but how can you actually help yourself? And then more importantly, how can you help the people around you? I often joke with like members like when I've managed teams is like grab a seat at the table because you often see junior people walk in a room and go to the super corner of the room and grab a seat and try to hide. And it's like, nope, grab a seat at the table. If you're in the room, grab a seat. And that's what I try to tell myself because sometimes I forget, grab a seat at the table, go sit up at the front. It's okay.
Yeah, man, Alex, that's incredible that you say that, Sona, because Alex, isn't this something that we've heard over and over again from, we're lucky that we've just sat down with so many successful people, and everybody kind of says the same thing, that you have to grow the courage to grab a seat at the table, that you have to have the confidence to be wrong. I think what happens for a lot of people, and it's certainly what happened to me, is when I was younger, we get our confidence eaten away by all these little things, whether it's people bullying us, whether it's teachers telling us we're not good enough, whether it's, parents maybe not guiding us and encouraging us enough. Whatever it is, when we're younger, we get all these little signs and these kind of little, you know, inflictions onto our confidence, that when we grow up, we start taking those things and we start making those wounds deeper. And I think it's that really holds you back because, when you look at any successful person, they're always confident in themselves and they're not afraid to make mistakes. They're not afraid of rejection either. You take a look at the industry I'm in, acting, and every successful actor out there, maybe they were afraid of rejection, but they found a way to overcome it, because at the end of the day, the industry's filled with rejection and you have to find a way to move on. So I love what you just said there, because, you know, I think the way my brain translated that was, whether you're working at a law firm or, a big company, or you're an actor, whatever it is, I think the lesson is, be confident in who you are. Try to figure out who you are, be confident in that, and don't be afraid of rejection. Because, like you said, that example that you gave about the juniors going and sitting in the back, I think a part of the reason they're not going and taking a seat is because they're going, I'm not good enough to be seen. I'm not good enough to be heard. I'm going to be made fun of. I'm going to be ridiculed. And maybe if they just had more confidence to sit at the table, then people would look at them and people would hear them and they'd be surprised that they have a lot to offer. So I love what you just said there.